the last days, rising tensions between Iran, the United States, and Israel have escalated into open military confrontation. Strikes have been met with counterstrikes. Retaliation has crossed borders. And as military activity expands across the region, the risk grows that neighboring states, allied forces, and critical infrastructure become involved. In a region dense with alliances, rivalries, and foreign military bases, escalation rarely stays contained. And when multiple powers are drawn into a widening conflict, the question is no longer whether tensions are rising, but whether the world is witnessing the early stages of something far larger. The Middle East is one of the most militarily interconnected regions in the world. The United States maintains air bases, naval fleets, missile defense systems, and rapid response forces across multiple allied states, including countries along the Persian Gulf. These installations are designed as deterrents, but in a rapidly escalating conflict, they also become potential targets. If Iranian retaliation strikes a U.S. base in Bahrain, Qatar, or elsewhere, even indirectly, the conflict immediately widens beyond a single front. An escalation does not always require deliberate expansion. A missile that misses its intended target, an interception that fails, an attack attributed to the wrong actor. In highly charged environments, miscalculation can spread faster than diplomacy. Regional actors, including neighboring Arab states, must balance domestic political pressure, alliance commitments, and security concerns. Some may attempt neutrality, others may strengthen defensive cooperation. But the more military assets activated across borders, the more complex de-escalation becomes. History shows that global wars often begin not with a master plan, but with a chain of reactions that no one fully controls. In a region where containment is the goal, expansion remains the ever-present shadow. The domino effect is set in motion. If regional escalation spreads to critical infrastructure, the global economy becomes the next battlefield. One of the most strategically sensitive locations on Earth is the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow maritime corridor through which a significant portion of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas passes. Even limited disruption, whether through naval confrontation, mining threats, drone attacks, or shipping insurance spikes, can trigger immediate volatility in global markets. Energy prices respond not only to actual closures, but to perceived risk. And when oil prices rise sharply, the effects ripple outward. Inflation pressures increase, transportation costs climb, and financial markets react. Major economies in Europe and Asia rely heavily on Gulf energy flows. If shipping becomes unsafe, international naval coalitions may mobilize to secure trade routes. At that point, what began as a regional military exchange begins to pull global economic powers into direct operational involvement. History shows that wars expand when trade routes are threatened, because energy security is national security. Regional wars become global risks when major powers perceive strategic stakes. The United States maintains deep security commitments in the Middle East, from military partnerships to intelligence cooperation. Russia and China, meanwhile, have their own strategic calculations, including regional influence, energy access, and broader competition with Western alliances. When global powers support opposing sides, even indirectly, the conflict's perimeter expands. Support does not always mean boots on the ground. It can include intelligence sharing, arms transfers, cyber operations, economic leverage, or diplomatic shielding at the United Nations. Modern great power rivalry rarely resembles traditional world wars. Instead, it unfolds through layered pressure, economic sanctions, cyber disruptions, naval positioning, and proxy actors. The danger lies not in immediate global mobilization, but in cumulative escalation, where each power tests limits while trying to avoid direct confrontation. History shows that when rival great powers become entangled in the same conflict theater, the margin for error becomes thinner. In a region where great powers watch closely, the question is no longer just about regional borders, but about the global balance that holds them in place. History teaches that global wars rarely begin with a single declaration. They emerge from tension layered upon tension. Alliances tested, red lines crossed, decisions made under pressure. In today's interconnected world, regional conflicts carry consequences far beyond their borders. Energy markets react in seconds. Financial systems respond instantly. Military alliances mobilize cautiously, but visibly. Yet history also shows something else. Escalation is not inevitable. Even at moments of peak tension, diplomacy has prevented wider wars. Back-channel negotiations, limited ceasefires, and strategic restraint have stopped crises from spiraling. The question is not whether the current conflict could expand, It is whether global leaders choose escalation or containment. Because world wars are not accidents of geography. They are the result of accumulated decisions. And in moments like this, the world watches those decisions unfold. If you found this analysis valuable, consider liking the video and subscribing for more in-depth geopolitical documentaries. Stay informed, stay aware.